Fear and anxiety are two of the most common and persistent emotions we face as human beings. Yet, they are not always tied to the events themselves, but rather to the way we perceive and interpret these events. This profound truth was recognized and explored thousands of years ago by the Stoic philosophers, thinkers like Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus, who devoted their lives to understanding how we can respond to life's challenges with reason, composure, and resilience. For the Stoics, fear and anxiety were not merely things to endure, but opportunities to grow stronger, wiser, and more resilient. The tools they offer are as relevant now as they were in ancient times, guiding us toward a life of calm clarity and inner strength. So, what is fear, really? At its core, fear is a response to uncertainty or perceived danger. We fear the loss of our job, the failure of a project, the ending of a relationship, or even what others think of us. Anxiety, meanwhile, is the product of dwelling on these fears, often magnifying them in our minds until they feel unmanageable. However, as the Stoics remind us, these emotions are not caused by external events, but by our own judgments and perceptions. If we can change how we view a situation, we can change how we feel about it. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and one of history's most renowned Stoic philosophers, wrote in his Meditations, "If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it, and this you have the power to revoke at any moment." What does this mean? It means that while we may not be able to control what happens to us, we can always control how we respond to it. This shift in mindset is not easy, but it is the key to overcoming fear and anxiety. Reframing fear, a signal for growth. Fear often feels like a heavy weight that holds us back. But what if fear isn't something to avoid? What if, instead, it's a signal, a message that reveals something important about ourselves? The Stoics teach us that fear highlights what we value. If we fear losing our health, it's because we value well-being. If we fear public speaking, it might reveal a desire to be accepted and respected. Rather than running from fear, the Stoics urge us to confront it rationally and ask ourselves, is this fear justified? What does it reveal about my values? Am I giving this situation more power than it deserves? Fear becomes manageable when we break it down and examine it with a clear mind. Often, the things we fear the most turn out to be far less daunting than we imagined. As Seneca wisely said, we suffer more in imagination than in reality. When we stop and face our fears, we not only reduce their grip on us, but also gain clarity about what truly matters in life. The power of perception. One of the core teachings of Stoicism is that our perceptions shape our reality. Events themselves are neutral. It is our judgment of them that makes them good or bad. Imagine two people losing their jobs. One might see it as a catastrophe, falling into despair, while the other might view it as a chance to pursue a new path or learn new skills. The difference lies not in the event, but in their perceptions. Epictetus, who rose from slavery to become one of the most respected philosophers of his time, put it this way: it is not things that disturb us, but our opinions about them. This is a powerful idea. If we can master our perceptions, we can master our emotions. Instead of reacting impulsively to fear and anxiety, we can pause, reflect, and respond with reason. When a challenge arises, ask yourself, is this situation truly as bad as I think it is? What are the facts? And what are my assumptions? How can I view this challenge as an opportunity rather than a setback? By taking control of our perceptions, we take control of our emotional well-being. Focus on what you can control. One of the most practical and liberating ideas in Stoicism is the dichotomy of control. In any situation, there are things you can control and things you cannot. You cannot control the actions of others, the economy, or the weather, but you can control your own thoughts, actions, and responses. When we focus on what we can control, we free ourselves from unnecessary anxiety. We stop worrying about outcomes that are beyond our influence and instead channel our energy into what we can do. Imagine you're preparing for an important presentation. You can't control how your audience will react, but you can control how well you prepare. By focusing on effort rather than outcome, You reduce fear and anxiety. You do your best, and that is enough. Marcus Aurelius offered this reminder. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. This is not just a philosophy, it's a strategy for life. By shifting your focus to what you can control, you regain power over your emotions. Negative visualization. Preparing for challenges. One of the most powerful Stoic practices for overcoming fear is negative visualization. At first, it might sound pessimistic. Imagining worst-case scenarios seems counterproductive. But for the Stoics, this practice serves an important purpose. It prepares us for challenges, reduces our fear of the unknown, and helps us appreciate what we already have. When we imagine what could go wrong, we often realize that even the worst-case scenario is not as catastrophic as we thought. This realization gives us the strength to face challenges with calm resolve. For example, if you fear losing your job, visualize it happening. What would you do? You might struggle, but you would adapt, find a new path, and grow stronger. By facing your fears mentally, you reduce their power over you in reality. Seneca practiced this regularly, saying, "He who has anticipated the coming of troubles takes away their power when they arrive." Through negative visualization, we build resilience and cultivate gratitude for what we have. Living in the present moment. Anxiety thrives when we live in the past or the future. We replay past mistakes, wishing we could change them, or we worry endlessly about what might happen tomorrow. The Stoics remind us that the only thing we truly possess is the present moment. When we focus on the here and now, we free ourselves from regret and worry. Marcus Aurelius put it beautifully, do not let the future disturb you. You will meet it, if you have to, with the same weapons of reason which today arm you against the present. By anchoring ourselves in the present, we reduce anxiety and find clarity to act. Building resilience through adversity. The Stoics believe that adversity is not something to be feared, but something to be embraced. Life's challenges, whether big or small, are opportunities to grow stronger, wiser, and more resilient. Like a muscle, our character grows through resistance. Consider historical figures like Nelson Mandela, who spent 27 years in prison but emerged with a spirit of forgiveness and strength. Or Thomas Edison, who viewed every failure as a lesson that brought him closer to success. These individuals understood that hardship reveals our true strength. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself, the obstacle is the way. The very things we fear can lead us to growth and wisdom if we face them with courage and resolve. Transforming fear and anxiety into strength. By applying Stoic principles, examining our fears, mastering our perceptions, focusing on what we can control, preparing for challenges, and living in the present, we can transform fear and anxiety into strength and resilience. Life will always present challenges, but we have the power to decide how we respond to them. With Stoic wisdom, we can face life with calm confidence, knowing that no matter what happens, we have the tools to endure, adapt, and grow stronger. Fear does not have to control us. Anxiety does not have to paralyze us. By embracing these timeless strategies, we can live with greater courage, clarity, and purpose. The choice is yours. Take control of your mind, and you take control of your life.